All right, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Luis Morales, filling in for Jazzy Chadwick. It's a Thursday at noon, which means it is time for exercise with Exos. 2/3 of the team is here, looking to have a solid workout here today. Going to be some shoulder work as expected. What we're gonna get into, guys, is 45 seconds of work, 15 seconds of rest for 4 rounds, 4 different movements here. And then we got a 2-minute finisher at the end with everyone's favorite movement. I'm sure you can guess what that is going to be. So what we're actually going to start with, though, is we're going to start with a push-up and a shoulder tap. So this is kind of a 2-part thing that we are going to do. Can be done from either kneeling or all the way up on the toes. But as we push away from the ground here, we're going to come down and push away and then tap one shoulder. So we got to make sure that that shoulder, that hand that stays planted really hard, is pushing our bodies away. We don't want to get up to this point, take our hand off, and then let ourselves sink down towards the ground. We got to really use those shoulder muscles, keep ourselves really far from the ground here. So look like that as well. We're trying to just place the hands back down in the same place that we left them. Because it's kind of a 2-part thing, guys, take it a little bit slower. We want to make sure the form is there, where it's not all about, hey, how many of these we can do. It's how well we can do them. So that's going to be our first thing. Second thing, another combination of 2 different movements, going to be our curtsy lunge with a squat in the middle. So we're going to alternate from side to side. So we'll step behind. I'll start with my left leg here. We'll step behind that hip, come down, load up the glute, come back to the middle, plant the feet, nice little squat, step behind with that other leg. So really loading up the glutes here, guys. If we really want to get more into that burn, we'll stay nice and low, keep those quads and those glutes and hamstrings loaded up. That's our second thing. Third thing, a classic for the shoulders, plank to pike. So hands planted on the shoulders, the toes are way out here behind us. We're going to push ourselves up in kind of that downward dog position, that pike position, rocking the arms up overhead, keeping the core nice and tight. We'll bring the hips down and they'll stay in that nice straight line between the shoulders and the heels. Final thing for our first part here is an alternating reverse lunge. So with this one, we want to make sure that the feet, they don't have to be planted in the same spot, but you kind of want them level. As we step back with one side, we'll place the foot level to the other and then start to step back the other side. So it's key that we keep the core tight, we load up those glutes, and we keep all our weight over that front leg, whichever one it is, as we step back with the opposite. All right, you guys, so that is going to be the main part of our workout. 4 rounds is going to give us about 14 or 16 minutes. Math, I don't know. And then the last 2 minutes of our workout, we're going to work Tabata Burpees. So that means we're going to work for 20 seconds. We're going to rest for 10. We're going to do 4 rounds. That's going to give us 2 minutes of burpees to close out for 18 minutes. We'll cool down and then we'll get out of here. So let me go ahead and lay my mat out here and then we'll get right into our warm-up. This thing all the way out. This thing is nice and long. All right, you guys. So what we're going to start here with the warm-up, we're going to start with the world's greatest stretch. So let's come to the top of our space here. Make sure you got some good space behind you. We're going to go ahead and develop some balance on that right foot. So all the weight is in the right foot. Let's pull that left knee up towards our chest. Take a breath. And then with control, let's step that left foot back. Big time reverse lunge. Both hands are going to come down to the inside of that right foot. Now, while trying to keep that back leg straight, we're going to let that right hand leave the ground here. We're going to twist, reach up towards the ceiling or sky, looking past that right thumb. Remember to breathe. I know it's tough. We're probably tight here. Let's bring that right hand down, and that right hand is going to land outside of that right foot. We're going to push ourselves up Straighten out that front leg, toes up towards the ceiling for a hamstring stretch real quick. And then let's step forward with that left foot. So both feet are next to each other. We're in a forward fold here. We can slowly roll ourselves all the way up. Give yourself a little shoulder roll at the top. All right, so we got one side down, one side to go. Let's plant that left foot, get all our weight into that left leg. We're balancing, pulling that right knee up in towards the chest. Big step back now with that right leg. Big time reverse lunge. We'll take those hands down to the inside of the left foot here. All right, so hands are planted on the shoulders. Let's take that left hand now, trying to keep the back leg straight. We're gonna twist to reach up towards the ceiling or sky. Trying to breathe in this position here. Nicely done, you guys. Let's take that left hand back down to the ground. It's gonna land outside that left foot. Push yourself up into the hamstring stretch real quick. The toes are up, heel is down. Trying to bring the head close to the knee if we can. All right, let's look forward. We'll step forward. We're now in that forward fold. And then we can slowly roll ourselves up. Ending with a nice little shoulder roll at the top there. All right, good job, you guys. Let's go ahead and warm up the lower body just a little bit more with some air squats. Get your stance going, screw those legs into the ground. We're kind of spreading the ground apart with our feet here. And then we're gonna push the knees out, come down, squeeze the glutes to stand back up. Let's do a few of these. Just warming the legs up. We got some squats in the middle of those curtsy lunges, but we really wanna get those glutes woken up because of the curtsy lunges and our reverse lunges. All right, guys, let's do two more here. Big squeezes every time at the top there. Nicely done. All right, you guys, good job, good job. So remember, we only need a little bit of space and some water here today, guys. Make sure you're staying hydrated as we go. All right, I'm gonna get the timer set up. We'll get right into this workout. All right, guys, so again, we're going for about 18 minutes. First 16, 45 seconds of work, 15 seconds of rest, and then I'll cue us through that 20 seconds of burpees, 10 seconds of rest for 4 rounds at the end. All right, guys, here we go. We're getting into that push-up with the shoulder tap here. 3, 2, 1. All right, so we are going set up with those hands in one spot. Remember, you can do this from kneeling or up on the toes. Remember, as we come up and do that tap, want to be really far away from the ground here. Extra push away from the ground because we're transferring all our upper body weight into one shoulder instead of two. Want to keep that core nice and tight. Make sure our hips don't twist to point anywhere else but the ground. It's okay to shift the weight side to side a little bit. All right, and time. Good job, you guys, good job. Okay, coming up next is our curtsy lunge with the squat. So make sure you have some room behind you to step. Grab some water if you need to, take a little break. We're starting in 3, 2, 1. All right, let's step behind. Keep the hips pointed forward. Plant the foot. We're squatting in the middle and then stepping behind with that opposite leg. Take your time. We're just now starting, so it doesn't have to be super quick. Remember, if you guys want to keep the burn going really hard, we can stay nice and low. Keep those quads all loaded up. Good job, you guys. Be conscious of where those hips are pointing. Want to make sure that our headlights on the hips pointed straight forward, blinding the camera here if you're facing your computer. And time. Good job, you guys. All right, coming up next, guys, is our plank to pike. We're going to be down on the ground here. Let's go in 3, 2, 1. All right, guys, so hands planted under the shoulders. They're not gonna move. We're up on the toes, core is tight. Pushing yourself up into that pike position. Walk those elbows out. Shoulders should feel kind of pumped up. And then as we come down, hips are stopping right on the line between the shoulder and the heels here. Make sure those hips don't come down any lower. Big exhales are going to help us find all those midsection muscles here, you guys. We're almost done. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. There we go. All right, let's rest. Alternating reverse lunge coming up next. This is the final part of this round 1. Make sure you guys got some room behind you to step. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. All right, step back. Remember, all of our weight is over that front leg as we step. The core is nice and tight. Use that foot to grip the ground and give a nice push away from that ground using the hip as we come back up to standing. Good work, everybody. Good work. Remember, keep those arches up. Use those feet. Core is nice and tight. All the weight's over that front leg. 3, 2, 1. All right, you guys, we are resting. That is the end of round 1. We got 3 more rounds just like it. Push up to shoulder tap coming up next here. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. All right, plant those hands. Push up, and then pushing away from the ground with that shoulder. Good job, you guys. Good job. Remember, be conscious of where those hips are pointing. Should be blinding the ground with those headlights this whole time. Good work, everyone. Good work. Almost done here. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Good job, you guys. Lots of up and down today. Coming up next is our curtsy lunge and the squat in the middle. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. All right, so we're stepping behind, squat in the middle, step behind, other side. There we go. Make sure you got room behind you. Keeping that core tight all the way. I know it's easy to get lazy. Leave that stomach relaxed. Don't do it. We got to support our spine. Good job, you guys. Good job. Keep those hips pointed forward. Got 10 seconds. Stay nice and low. Let's keep that burn going. There we go, you guys, and time. Good job, let's rest. Plank to pike coming up next, and then we got our reverse lunge. Remember, at any point, guys, you can stop, grab some water. 3, 2, 1. Time for that plank to pike. Here we go. Find a good plank position first, guys, and then we can push ourselves up and bring ourselves back down. Make sure as you come back down to that perfect plank, squeeze a little bit through the armpits just to make sure that those shoulders are not near the ears. It's really easy to get caught up and start shrugging. Good job, guys. Stopping on a nice straight line between those shoulders and the heels. 3, 2, 1, and we are resting. Good job, everybody. Okay, reverse lunge coming up next. We got to stand, plant those feet at a nice level spot. 3, 2, 1, Here we go. All the weight over that front leg. We're bending that front knee. It's also getting pushed out to the side a little bit, always out towards that pinky toe. Remember, this is a movement for the hip primarily, so squeeze that glute as much as you can. Think about that hip as we're powering ourselves up. Pushing through the whole foot, giving the ground some pressure with those toes. We're almost done here. 3, 2, 1. All right, let's rest. Good job, everybody. We are halfway through this first part. 2 more rounds. Push up to shoulder tap coming up next. Let's find our spot on the ground here. 3, 2, 1. All right, we are back into it. Good job, you guys. Good job. Core is tight here, guys, especially as we're tapping that opposite shoulder. We want to stay nice and tight through the core. Make sure we're not twisting. Good job, you guys. Good job. Pushing away from the ground as much as you can here, guys. We're not sinking towards the ground through those shoulders. Pushing away. And time. Good job, everybody. Good job. All right, curtsy lunge in the squat coming up next. Let's stand it all the way up. Make sure we got some room for ourselves. 3, 2, 1. Let's step behind. Squat in the middle. We got to make sure that our hips are still pointed forward here. Good work, you guys. Stay nice and low here. Core tight. Knees always driving out away from each other. Oh yeah, we're starting to feel the burn. We're staying nice and low. We got 10 seconds. Well done, you guys, well done. Keep those hips pointed forward. 3, 2, 1. Stand it all the way up. Whew, that burns. All right, you guys, plank to pike coming up next. We're working those shoulders, working the core here. All right, 3, 2, 1. Into that plank to pike. So find your plank first, then we can start to push. Remember, a nice strong exhale will help. Keep that core honest as we come down. Good work, you guys, good work. Make sure we're getting all the way up overhead with those shoulders. Making sure we're not shrugging. Well done, you guys. We have 10 seconds left. Let's keep it moving if we can. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Let's relax. Good job, you guys. All right, reverse lunge coming up next. Let's stand up. Let's get to our spot where we don't have anything behind us. We're starting here in 3, 2, 1. This is the beginning of the end of round 3 here, guys. Let's keep it going. Remember, knee always going out towards the pinky toe. Core is tight, keeping the rest of our body nice and supported. Driving through those hips, guys. Beginning of that power is coming from the hips as we power ourselves up. We got 10 seconds, let's keep going. Well done, everybody. 3, 2, 1. All right, you guys, let's rest. This is the final round coming up here. Last time we're gonna do it, we'll rest for 15 seconds on the back end, and we're jumping right into 2010. Here we go, 3, 2, 1. All right, push-ups with the shoulder tap. Last time you got to do it. Remember to lock that elbow out all the way as we push away from the ground. Good job, you guys. Good job. Can have those legs, or those feet, I should say, kind of wide, wider base of support. Good job, you guys. We got about 10 seconds left. Let's see how many more we can do. Pushing away from that ground. 3, 2, 1. Good work, everybody. Good work. We're resting. We got the curtsy lunge and the squat coming up next. Getting a little hot in here. I'm going to grab some water. All right, here we go. We're starting in 3, 2, 1. Curtsy lunge and the squat here. I know we want to go fast here, guys, but be meticulous about how we're moving. Curtsy lunge can kind of be elusive at times. So let's make sure that we're staying nice and solid through the form. We're only loading up that glute as we step behind. Good job, guys. Good job. Embracing that burn because we're staying nice and low. We're almost done. 3, 2, 1. Stand all the way up. Ooh, man, that burns. Okay. Plank to pike coming up next. Let's come down to the ground. Final home stretch here of part 1, guys. 3, 2, 1. We got the hands planted. We can find that good plank position. All the way up in that pike, all the way back down to that solid plank. Make sure to squeeze everything when you get back down into that plank. Don't want to get lazy. We don't want to train our brains to be lazy with that activation. Good job, everybody. Good job. We got about 15 seconds left of work here. Good job. We're pushing away from the ground with those shoulders too. Don't let yourself get too close to that ground. 3, 2, 1. Good job, guys. Good job. Picture perfect. Okay, reverse lunge coming up next, and then it's our last 15-second rest interval after this. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. We're stepping back. We're alternating. Let's try and see which hip can generate the most power here, guys. Pushing down through that whole foot. Core is tight. Everything around the hips, we're loading it up as we step back, powering ourselves up as we come up to be standing. Good work, you guys. We got about 10 seconds left. Let's keep working. After this, we got burpees. 3, 2, 1. All right, guys, we are resting. Final little rest period. Now we're going to go into 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest. Burpees coming up here. 3, 2, 1. All right, guys, let's get a few in. Remember, if you're in a place where you can't jump, that's totally okay. Do the best you can. Do the burpee without the jump. We're almost done here, you guys. 5 seconds. And time. All right, you guys, quick rest here. We're only resting for 10. Getting right back into it for 20 coming up. 3, 2, 1. We're back into it. Doesn't have to be the fastest burpees you guys have ever done. We're just trying to keep it looking the same the entire way. Good job, you guys. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. All right, you guys, brief rest. 2 more rounds here. We're in our final minute. Final 2 rounds of 20 seconds. 3, 2, 1. All right, let's work. Home stretch for real now. Good job, you guys. Good job. Keep breathing, keep moving. Almost to rest. 3, 2, 1. Refresh, you guys. Great work, great work. 20 more seconds. I know our heart's probably pounding. Let's go in 3, 2, 1. Final little work period, guys. Let's make it our best. 20 seconds. Give it all you got. It's more like 10 now. Good job, you guys. 3, 2, 1, and time. Good job, everybody. Good job. I'm going to shut the timer off here. We're all done. All done with the work. Good job, you guys. Okay. We still got to cool it down. I still got to calm down a little bit. So let's start with, we're going to start in standing here, guys. And what we're going to do is do some nice backwards shoulder rolls. Breathing. We're just trying to catch our breaths here, you guys. Light backwards shoulder rolls. Brittany said, you would think burpees will be easier by now. Yeah, I don't know, Brittany. I've been doing them for at least over 10 years. Never get easier, ever. We're still breathing here, you guys. Good job, guys. Good job. We're still breathing. All right, you guys. So final minute here. What we're going to do is come down to the ground. We'll get a nice rear hip stretch in through the pigeon pose. So let's come down onto the ground. We're kind of hands and knees here. You can either come up to a plank or you can stay kind of hands and knees. We're tired, so let's go ahead and drive that left knee forward and we'll let that right leg slide back. We're going to rotate so our shin becomes as horizontal or parallel, or I guess I should say perpendicular to our body as we can. And then we're going to sink back into that rear hip stretch. You can come down onto your elbows too if this is easier. If you're feeling some better stretch here, we're just going to breathe into this left rear hip. Trying to regain control of that breathing by having our exhales be a little bit longer than the inhales here. Well done, you guys. Well done. Okay, let's come on up. Let's switch it over to the other side. Take a moment, untwist that leg. We're going to drive the right knee forward now. Let the left scoot back. Sinking back into that right hip as much as you can. And while we stretch here, I can talk about all the stuff that we have going on. Stretch break later today at 2:30 p.m. with me. We also have an event this Friday going on that is called Bike to Wherever Day. And what we're doing with that is challenging you guys to walk, bike, or run 30 minutes before work and join me for a mobility session at 8:30 a.m. Pacific. In a world concerned with pollution, congestion, and climate change, why shouldn't we ride our bikes a little bit? So I hope you guys will join me for that. We can slowly come out of this stretch now. You guys coming all the way up to hands and knees, untwisting that leg. That is all the time I have left for this class today. Thank you guys for coming. One more thing, if you're looking for everything that Exos does with Autodesk, go to SharePoint and Autodesk One and just type in Exos at Autodesk. You'll be able to find our site and everything that we do, all the relevant links. I hope everyone has a great rest of your Thursday. Hope to see you later stretching with me. Take care. I'll see you next time. Man, that was a spicy one at the end. Oh boy.